It went really well, did it?
Did it?
You didn't see the part where we fought right there in the middle.
Choke slam right through the table. RKO.
Nice. No, out of nowhere, too. It was out of nowhere.
Vintage Michael.
Hit me with all the references. These are references, people. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SuperSour podcast. This podcast is going to be dope today. I've got my longtime friend. His name is Robby.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. I know, it's so good to see you. I'm genuinely, shaky right now and everything just because I'm just happy to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. Me and Robby go back from middle school together, and we've been through a shit ton of things. And you're going to hear a lot about that today. And you are going to hear a lot about all his projects and everything he does. Robby's from a band, Dark Divine, right now, and they are crushing it. I'm going to let him go into that in a little bit. But before we do, you know what podcast you're at right now. It's SuperSour. It's the whitest Puerto Rican you know, holding it down. It's the one half of the greatest Fortnite team you've ever seen on Twitch. Shout out twitch.tv/SuperSourGames. Follow us on Patreon/SuperSour.com. That's wrong, but you get it. Go to follow us on all our social media, SuperSourjir, just SuperSour Podcast. You can find us anywhere. We own that domain. We are SuperSour. You like that? All right, Robby, I want to kick it over to you. Please promote, plug anything you got going on. Who are you? What are you doing? Just give us a quick rundown and what you got coming up.
Well, first of all, I'm your buddy. I'm Robby.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I'm currently a guitar player in the band called Dark Divine. We're based out of Orlando, Florida. Mm-hmm. We're just starting off, just a bunch of dudes practicing, writing some songs, and then kind of developed into something a lot bigger than what we kind of thought it would, and obviously what we wanted it to, but kind of took us by surprise, and we're finally working with a label. First time in my life and music career that I've been able to work with a label. That's and we're getting the opportunity to go on tour in August. It'll be the first tour I ever go on. It'll be East Coast, so all the way up the East Coast of the US and back down. Merch at dark-divine.com if you want merch. Check us out, Dark Divine Official on Instagram and on TikTok.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, to start off, first of all, congratulations on everything.
Thank you, man.
So cool. I mean, you're one of the few people, honestly, we talk real shit here, and I mean, sometimes in life, you want to be as cool and as great as you can about everything, but sometimes you see people from your past doing good shit, and you're like, fuck you.
You don't deserve that.
Yeah. Of course, you go like this. Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, of course you did. But I see all the things you do all the time, and I'll tell people who don't even know you, I'll show them my phone. No, you see this guy? He's been pushing, man. He's been working for this. So it's cool to see him do it. It really is. So,
thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I'm going to go over a little backstory here. Like I said, me and Robby met in middle school, and what I'm really excited to do, it's going to be a huge backstory on you, because Reese did a little research, and she saw you don't have any solo interviews, do you? Do you have all interviews with the band?
So far, interviews with the band, things with the band are still currently kind of just popping off. Really.
Right. Doing really good at popping off, though.
When it comes to the band, we all have kind of discovered we've got our own specific jobs within the band, obviously, other than what we do as musicians. But a lot of the interview has been able to go towards, rightfully so, our frontman Anthony. Mm-hmm. Also towards our drummer, who's also kind of we've all kind of got like our own positions in the band, and they do the interviews, and kind of my job is to just play guitar and look spooky as fuck. So.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, you are the spookiest of them when I see it out there. It's dope. Yeah, but actually, you know what? Before I go into the backstory, then let's talk about that. So where did you guys meet? So who are the other guys? Because I've done some research, but I don't know the rest of them. Mm-hmm. So who are the other guys, and where did you guys meet?
So
we're the other boys, as we like to say around here.
Spooky boys.
Yeah.
So initially, I was in a band before this, which probably gonna laugh at the name, Dark Summer.
I remember that one. There was like 2 dark bands before this.
Yeah, it confused a lot of my friends, at least locally. A lot of the people I worked with locally, they're like, "Wait, which band are you in? Dark Summer, Dark Divine? What's
are you in all of them?"
Yeah, like. So I was in a band. A lot of personal stuff had happened in my life, and I when I had stopped music initially locally, and this band, after a bunch of personal stuff had happened, had reached out to me. They were called Dark Summer, and I joined them. And one of the smartest things I could have done, one of the best things I could have done, because I got to meet a lot of new people and a lot of new friends in a whole new network than St. Pete, because it was based in Lakeland and they played in Central Florida.
Okay, right.
So getting to know a whole different market in the state of Florida introduced me to open doors I didn't even think were there.
Yeah. Because you were mostly in St. Pete for most of the time. You were doing most of your career from what I know. Yeah. Okay.
St. Pete died out, man.
Yeah.
State Theater, 662, all the venues that my band was finding success in at the time, they all shut down, got closed down. Metal music isn't very as accepted as it once was, at least locally here.
Yeah.
In Orlando, it's thriving.
Oh, I can imagine.
So that was, I had a really good time in that band, and the drummer that joined right after I joined in Dark Summer, his name was Tristan.
Okay.
And Tristan and I, we had gone through Dark Summer for about a year, and in music, you kind of just start to pick up on whether things are going to work or not, and especially once you start spending a lot of money and investing a lot of time and a lot of money into how am I going to make this a career? Like, what's the point if, of course having fun, but if this is what you want to do for a career, then you hit a point in music where you're like, this is either going to go somewhere or it's not. And
same, yeah. We can feel that, but I'll go into a little bit later how it's been heavier for you, in my opinion. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But in any form of art, I think, I mean, from radio to music to acting to anything, like at first it takes a lot of tries to get to where you want to be, and I think you just have to keep trying. And with Tristan and I, Dark Summer, we kind of had parted our ways, and when Tristan was parting his ways, he had reached out to me and said, I'm talking to this other musician, Jason, out in Orlando, who Jason is an absolutely amazing songwriter. I've done a lot of songwriting in the past, and when I was introduced to him and got to listen to his music, I was like, this is definitely something I want to be a part of. I'm not going to just quit music all together again. I'm going to see how this works out.
Yeah.
The terrifying part was that they all lived in Orlando and I live over here.
Okay.
Practicing once a week, driving over there after work at 5 o'clock on I-4 every single week. So that was kind of nerve-wracking at first, but so Tristan and I were already good friends, met up with Jason.
That's the singer, right?
Our guitar player.
Oh, okay, but you said songwriter, so he just writes a lot of songs.
He writes a lot of songs.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Very, very self-taught in production.
Nice.
He's come a very, very long way. I've learned a lot from him. There's a whole lot more I could learn, but as of right now, my focus is to play the songs and help out with guitar as best as I can.
You're a better fit than anybody for that, because you're a guy who can take charge. So if you're just like doing that, crushing it.
Well, it's also weird because like I never thought about playing somebody else's riffs that I hadn't written, because I was so used to writing my own music. And to me, I feel like it's made me 100 times better of a player than I ever thought I could be, because I'm so used to the way I want things. So being able to open up my mind and learn a way somebody else wants things to be has really, really helped me come a longer way.
Adds to your repertoire, Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd met up, and we didn't even know we wanted to be a spooky band at first. We just knew we wanted to write some heavy riffs and get some, gnarly faces in the crowd when we go into some breakdowns or something.
Clearly, you all like spooky shit, though.
Yeah, well, that was so crazy. We were all hanging out one day, and before we realized who the singer was going to be, I remember Tristan and I were playing at a venue with Dark Summer at the time, and we were outside having our stogies, and all of a sudden we start hearing this kid just belting it. Well, he's not a kid anymore. I'm sorry, Anthony. Just belting it, and him and I both immediately, without even having to say anything to each other, just kind of walked into the venue to see who the hell was singing.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, like, we don't want to steal this dude, but he's got what we want. And so we had hit him up, and he was more than willing to work with us.
Writing a good story here right now. Right off the back, some guy in Hollywood's like, I need to write about this.
Right? 10, 15,
this
20 years
naturally
from now.
happened. We don't have to put it in the script. Oh, man. Okay.
Trademark.
Yep. You heard it first. Exclusive, yeah.
And I remember at that show, I was actually in my my skeleton paint. So sometimes when I'm in that paint, I forget about it. Mm-hmm. And I remember just walking up to him, and I'm sure to him at that time, he's probably like, who the fuck is this guy walking up to me? I was like, dude, awesome set. I loved it. One of my new favorite vocalists. And about 2 or 3 weeks later is when we were like, hey, he's going to try and sing for us. Mm-hmm. And we received the first demo, which was along the lines and concept, kind of like a storyline that he had written for our song Halloween Town.
I love that song, by the way.
And that's when we had, and thank you, we had realized then that there's a market for it. And we also realized that there's a market for it because it's all things that we love.
Yeah.
Horror, like growing up watching. Remember when we would watch like Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
100%.
Friday the 13th, Evil Dead,
Michael Myers,
Jeepers Creepers. Like those were things that we loved as like kids. We all loved horror movies.
I just told her recently because we were watching Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
doesn't like campy horror movies like that. But I was telling her, I was like, his is really good. But I was letting her know, I was like, you were the one who, I remember I was this fucking, at that age, This is a SuperSour exclusive. At that age, I was still terrified of horror movies.
Oh, that's right.
And Robby would push them on me like crazy. He'd be like, he'd wait till like 10 p.m. when I was like staying the night at his house, and he'd go, all right, so we're gonna watch this super heavy murder movie. And I'd be like, okay. I'd be cool about it. I'd be like, no problem, dude, no problem. and then Robby would do the psychopath thing of like, all right, man, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Also,
cool, bro.
I remember.
Can you get me a blanket?
Here, do you want a pillow too? Here's my dog bed.
It's true.
I remember specifically when I think it was in middle school, I'm not sure, that we had a big pool party at the house. And I don't know how this happened, but we were all hanging out at the pool, grilling out food, and all of a sudden, everybody at the party ended up inside, and we were watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the living room floor. It was
I sat in the very back.
Yeah, I remember specifically. You're like, yeah, bro, it's cool.
No,
it's a good movie. Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, middle school, so I got to be tough for the girls. It's like, yeah, no worries. It's not even that big of a deal. I don't even want to watch it. I'm not even that. That's how not scared I am. I'm not even going to like look at the screen right now. Hey, no, don't tell me what's happening, though. I don't.
I even remember my mom specifically being there, obviously chaperoning. And
she was watching over us.
She was like, how the hell did this happen? You guys were all partying in the pool, and now you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the living room.
So true. I wonder who made that call. You don't remember, right?
So, yeah, I mean, hey, buddy.
Crypto, you being in the podcast for a second?
Buddy.
That's very nice of you.
Crypto Divine.
Hey, he's in. He's in. Are you taking me on tour? You have to deal with my seizures, though.
I got you, buddy. You got to deal with mine, too, though.
Exclusive.
No, man. So, like,
so you went to that show, but you were in your stuff. Were you guys performing or something?
Were in your Dark Summer was performing.
Okay,
I did the skeleton, or just the body paint, face paint thing in general in Dark Summer. It was kind of a concept that I came up with for our music video, Bender, which was a song that Tristan and I had wrote together for Dark Summer. And I don't know. It was Bender. I'm growing up in life.
Yeah.
Exclusive. You knew me very personally, and there was a lot of issues that I dealt with my brother growing up.
Yeah.
And you realize, in terms of addiction, you can really see two sides of a person. And so when we filmed Bender, that was kind of the concept. One part of my face was a skeleton, the other part of my face wasn't. So it kind of represented the two different sides that there could be of a person.
Right. Yeah.
And after that music video came out and how cool it looked, I was like, I want to fucking do this.
You seem to be that focal point of that video, by the way. Like, I mean, which, not to take away from anybody at all in that, it's just like, it's rightfully so. It's kind of like grabbing everybody's attention. You know what I mean? And then, because that's, when I first saw it, we're not even really talking that much. You're a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. And I just see it come down and I go, okay, let me see what this is about. It's his new project. I don't even see you. All the projects you've never done, I've never even seen you do something like this. And I go, okay. And then you're the first face I see, I believe, if I remember correctly. And it's you got the spooky thing on, and I'm like, whoa. And that's what anybody would do. They go, whoa. Yeah. And then they hear the voice. It was awesome. It was honestly, there's a lot of new metal out right now that, I'm somebody, for somebody like me, I'm somebody who loves a lot of genres. And there's a lot of new metal out right now that it just doesn't seem like it has a personality.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to be capturing that right now. But I'm cutting you off, but I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, no, you're good. Like, that's what I feel. I feel the same way. There's a lot of new bands right nowadays that I love. Like, and that's where we kind of incorporated, like, for me, the way I look at it, and I'm sure with all the guys, they kind of all look at it in their own individual ways.
Right.
But the way I look at it is tying things in to your art or your craft that you love. So as far as, like, if you look at Stranger Things, for they tied in the whole 80s thing. And how do they do that? They brought in movies from the 80s, products from the 80s. And,
style clothing.
And just kind of created their concept off of that. So as far as, like, the band, we wanted to incorporate horror movies and just that vibe in general. And then also some of our favorite bands like Motionless in White. They do the whole horror concept type thing, or Halloween concept to a certain extent. So we kind of incorporate their influence. So all these different influences, and it kind of gave us a lot bigger of a personality than we thought it would.
Definitely.
And the whole skeleton thing kind of just migrated over from one band to another, and that kind of just took shape in Dark Divine to where we all kind of have our own look. Like, for instance, with Jason, Jay, we look at him like the 7-foot tall vampire, because he puts in the whiteout contacts and he has the blacks coming down his eyes.
Badass.
So the way I look at it, and I'm sure once they see this interview, they're gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up, Robby."
Guys, come on.
I get very, very literal.
Fucking fight me, bro.
But
Exclusive. Check out our next vlog where I fight his whole band.
They don't think of things too conceptually like I do, other than Anthony. I mean, the way he writes, obviously, with Halloween Town, that was a concept in and of itself. Which is funny, with Halloween Town, we had a local producer that had listened to it and said this was the first song where I heard a vocalist write about something that didn't mean anything at all, but made you feel everything at all.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, that's kind of a crazy way of putting it. I didn't think about it like that. Because if you really think about it, he's talking about nothing real in life.
And that's what's, like, unique about it, is because there's an escape in that, in the sense of, like, a lot of the old music that you used to make with everybody, and it's not a bad thing at all. It has message, right? All music's supposed to have a message of some kind. You listen to it and you're like, what does he mean by this? But sometimes you can listen to a song and you can feel good. Like, for example, A Little Piece of Heaven by Evan. It has a meaning, it has a story, but it really means absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
But you can feel it, and it's a banger, and it has a concept to
creating something from nothing.
It drags you in. Yeah, it's a snow job, and it's a good damn snow job, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, to me, my favorite thing as an artist, which our singer Anthony does very, very well, better than any of the bands I've ever worked with or seen locally, is he provides an aesthetic to the song itself. The words that he chooses, the way he describes certain things, it gives you that setting, just like if you were watching your favorite TV show or your favorite movie.
Right.
So it's really cool the way we put it all together. Like, I've always wanted to be in a band where we're not just, all right, let's write some tunes and go up there and rock the hell out. I wanted it to mean something more than that and look cooler than that.
Exactly.
And, like, so we're still discovering ourselves. I mean, just, you know, we've been discovered by a label, Thriller and In Vogue Records.
Shouts out In Vogue. Shouts out Thriller.
Yeah. In Vogue just merged over to Thriller Records, so congratulations to In Vogue if you're watching this.
And we know that you are.
Very, very, very solid team working with them. But, you know, it's really cool to become discovered and get a backing with the team that we have right now. But I also think as a band, we're still discovering who we are as a band and pushing the boundaries of how far that we can go. And I'm really excited to see like what's in store, especially after this tour.
Definitely
going out on. We're all kind of nervous, but more than nervous, we're excited to go out on tour.
Have any of you ever been on tour before at all?
Jay, our guitar player songwriter, has been on tour before. He's going to be playing the hometown show for this run, which is in Orlando, which is kind of crazy. Our debut show and our hometown show.
I saw that first date's Orlando. That's awesome. Yeah.
And we've been a band for about a year and a half now, and we've been waiting for the right time to play a show. We've had plenty of opportunities. And
wait, so no shows yet? You guys haven't played it?
We haven't played a show.
That's great.
Yet.
You guys have a really good following for somebody who has not played any shows yet. That's awesome. I mean, I don't.
A lot of bands coming out recently haven't had shows lately because of.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right.
But that brings up a really good point as well. Is I think when COVID hit was the market became a lot of things in general. The whole entire market and the entire world for every different market, things started to change. People started to migrate to different places, and I don't know. I think you know, it's kind of shitty what happened in the world with COVID, but it also kind of opened up a lot of doorways for a lot of people and new successes and new opportunities.
And that comeback is making people go, I want to see anything. Genuinely, like they want to see new acts. They want to see because they want to be out. They want to see a live show.
Yeah,
that's just how it is now, and that's awesome. So perfect timing for you guys, honestly.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, you deserve it, man. You deserve all this that's going on for you, and so do the guys. I hope to meet them one day. You guys all seem to really deserve it. So they're all three out in. So just the four of you guys, and they're all three out in Orlando.
So there's five of us.
Oh, there's five. I was gonna say, hold on, we only talked about that.
So Jarrett, our bass player, he's the newest addition to Dark Divine.
I saw that like announcement that you guys made about that. That was awesome.
Yeah, we had our buddy Ryan, who was our bass player when we had written Halloween Town, and did the music video with him. And you know, in life, everybody's on different courses and whatnot, and he had other obligations to fulfill and other things he wanted to pursue, and we supported him in that. And so that's when we went on the hunt for another bass player, and we came across Jarrett, which Jarrett, Boo Thing.
Shouts out Jarrett for watching, and we know that you are because you're part of the band, so
you better be fucking watching.
You better not tuned in for like 5 minutes and gone cool, and then Robby did all the drops, he promoted everything I've done. They watch the fight, they go, nice man, you promoted everything, thanks.
So yeah, Jarrett, he's been the...
just to see,
Yes, they are.
So we got Jason, we got Jarrett, we got Tristan, we got Anthony. That's it, and it's you.
There's me. On tour for any fans that are watching, for any of our followers. Unfortunately, Jay will not be on this tour with us.
Okay.
He is playing the debut and hometown show. But we'll be going on this run just as a 4-piece. Unfortunately, Jay will be greatly missed. He knows that.
So hard. I told you know why that makes me laugh so hard is because the Pixar, all the times they do the outtakes of the animation, they'd be like, Mark, you'd be like, outtakes? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But there's so many outtakes every time. Mark it. That's my brain, ladies and gentlemen. In Robby's brain, music plays. In my brain, I go, mark it.
No, I hear market and I'm just like, oh shit, okay, it's time to, music video.
Ah, there you go. Fair enough. Wow, what a big baller move right there. He goes, no, when I hear that, actually, it's music video time. So you wouldn't understand. No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't.
My band's gonna see that and go, "Shut the fuck up, Robby."
They're gonna be like, "Oh, you skewered him, bro. He's a comedian? I don't think so." Oh shit! I know.
How funny would it be? I forget. I think it was Tom Segura. He has a podcast.
Yeah, Mom's House. Yeah, we
Fucking
watched it,
hilarious shit.
Oh yeah. Shouts out moms. Shouts out mommies.
Is it Bert Kreischer that went on with one of these things? It's fucking Kool-Aid, bro. So here's a funny story.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Everybody,
Exclusive.
everybody in the band will fucking vouch for this because I used to, which is hence why I have so much water in here. Trying to get healthier and prepared
Be
for
honest.
them on the road for 10
What flavor
days.
Kool-Aid you got in there?
Water flavored.
It's blue. Yeah.
But I literally used to go to work and go to band practice. I would always have a Yeti filled with strawberry Kool-Aid.
No.
Swear to God.
No.
And
When was this? When?
This was before I even saw the Bert Kreischer thing, and then I forget what it was, but I used to show up to band practice, and I eat like Gushers and drink Kool-Aid and shit, and they're like, "Dude, you eat like a fucking 5-year-old." And
That was me.
You did, man. I would envy you. I'd be like,
and the guys, I remember specifically with the band chat, the guys had sent that video, and it was before I'd ever even seen it. And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm fucking Bert Kreischer. I'm drinking fucking 16-ounce Kool-Aid."
that's one of the funniest videos. I genuinely almost throw up from laughing watching that video. It's so funny.
But when I understand Bert Kreischer, when I see it, I'm like, I get it, bro.
Yeah, especially if you only. I mean, I can understand if you put a little bit in, just the one packet to 64 ounces.
man.
No, okay, all right.
It's got to be sweet. I
Hold
like
on,
to call
don't shame me like you were the one doing it.
It's got to be so sweet that the bugs are attracted to it. Man.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
When you feel the thickness of the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
When it's like thick
your Kool-Aid should
and
start to hurt
Yeah.
about halfway through drinking it. It
Yeah.
should start to hurt you. Yeah. That's the only way you really made it. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that it does. You guys made a post about this, but if you're on, I know a lot of people like Spotify on there. You're just looking at random playlists. You can find them on the new core and all new metal playlists. Look that up, and you can find them on there. But
Thank you, Spotify.
yeah. Also, so you guys have 4 singles out. Is that true? So that's
Correct.
it.
Yes.
Okay, so Halloween Town is definitely my favorite. Are the other songs, is this all going to be put onto an album of like a concept type thing, or are those all just like their own idea as well?
They're all kind of their own stories in a way,
Okay.
at least lyrically. They all do tie into each other. I wouldn't say conceptually. I wouldn't say they're all the same story. But they all are their own separate stories of either personal experience or just concept in general, like Halloween Town.
Right. Cool.
So there's definitely more to be expected. I can say that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We just dropped Circles, which is our newest release that was dropped about 2 weeks ago.
I just listened to that yesterday. It's real good. That's
Thanks,
nice.
man.
I like it.
That was a song we were nervous about at first. Let me rephrase that. I was never fucking nervous about it. I loved that song. The second I heard it, I said, "This is going to be one of the big ones for us. Let's release it right now." And we worked on it for like a year. Well, Jason worked on it with a few producers for a year, and Anthony worked on it, and it came out even better than what I thought of before.
Right.
And it's just that's the second I heard that song. The second I heard that synth, I was like, I'm hooked. I'm caught on it.
It
So.
feels like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like thinking like this, it feels like you guys have a style that incorporates like all the parts of the new metal. You know what I mean? Like when I listen to you guys, and this is a great thing. I don't want to compare. I don't know if that's a bad thing to do, and you're trying to like compare, because I'm not. I'm just saying like that's how I listen to music and what hits me.
Yeah.
And when I hear you guys, immediately I go, oof. Is that Breaking Benjamin? Is that? I feel like with your music, like the feel of it, it has that vibe with it. It's like it feels thick.
Yeah.
And then it's different. It was like, whoa. And then it has the very new age metal. Like I said, there's some synth in it sometimes, and it feels new. And then I heard in this new in Circles, it's like pig squeal. I heard just like a little bit.
Yeah.
And but there was a nice ass scream right before it, and I was like, wow, it's you guys are hitting all forms of it. You're not just trying to stick onto the one thing. You know?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, what gives us, I think, or separates us from a lot of bands, at least locally right now, is Jay, when he does his songwriting and his production, the synths that he creates within the songs, which is those extra layers, those really catchy bells and whistles in the song, that's like a sixth member in and of itself that he's created within the song. And so, like, trying to touch on all aspects of metal or rock in general, kind of like as we were speaking of before, how our favorite influences used to touch on, like, going right back to it, Fanboy here, Stranger Things, how they touch on Jaws or E.T. or things that inspired them. We wanted to throw in synthwave, we wanted to throw in metal, we wanted to throw in kind of old school type metal that we grew up listening to, like Avenged Sevenfold, that has kind of like In the Fear, there's a solo. Typically, you're not going to hear me solo too much. I'm not a big solo guy, but it kind of worked for that song. So we like incorporating all different aspects and intensities of different genres of the rock community and what most of the rock community is interested in.
Hell yeah. So that's definitely thinking of the fans and yourselves at the same time. That's what's up.
Because you have to stay true to yourself and make sure you're enjoying what you're doing.
But you can't be ignorant to the consensus.
Correct. Yeah, you got to continue to adapt with the times as well.
Exactly. Hell yeah. That's what's going to make it great, bud.
Adapting.
You heard it from me here first. The guy who has no music experience, that's what's going to make you make it. And then we're going to get into the backstory stuff and a lot more fun stuff here too. And before that, though, I wanted to ask you, besides buying tickets to go see you guys, because you guys are just now, again, going to first time be playing shows, going on tour. Not just first time playing shows, going on tour with it. Besides buying tickets for that, what's the best way to support you guys for people out there who just see you guys and they don't have a lot of money, they just want to support you guys, though?
The best way to support us right now would be to go to dark-divine.com. It has all of our official merchandise on there. You could also go to invoguerecords.com. We have an exclusive merch shirt design with them as well. If you're coming out to the shows and you're purchasing tickets to come out to the shows, come meet us. Come hang out at the merch booth with us. We'll have a bunch of exclusive merch specifically for that tour as well.
Hell yeah.
Another big thing is stream the song as much as keep listening to it. Put it on repeat. If you can, buy the song, purchase the song. Typically, I think the most it goes for is like $1.30.
Okay.
A lot of people stream, which nothing wrong with that. I stream music.
Yeah.
But if you really, really want to support the artists that you love or the art in general, it's better to purchase the song than stream the song.
It's for sure replayable too, and that's good to know because ignorantly I was just doing that. Like I was like, I don't know if this helps or not, but I just put the 4 songs on loop.
Yeah.
And I was like, on Spotify, and I was like, I hope this helps. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it is replayable. Like I was doing shrubs one day out in the heat, and it kept me going. I'm not gonna lie. I messaged Robby. I was like, yo, this song is keeping me going out here in the heat right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm feeling it. So put that shit on repeat on Spotify. Listen to that shit. Support the band Dark Divine. Also, you can buy our merch, SuperSour merch, directly from us. There is no website, but you can DM us. It is made to order, and you can order shirts like this with the SuperSour logo or Super Sally for all you Sallys out there. And please DM us. They're $15 per shirt. Custom color design. Wherever you want the logo at, we'll put it on there for you. Just hit us up, supersourjir@gmail.com or supersourjir on any social media. Thank you.
And Joe will personally deliver it. You live in Antarctica, he'll be there.
What are you doing? I was supporting you so much.
As long as they pay shipping and handling.
That's going to be extra. That is going to be extra. Fuck, marry, kill. Joe Rogan, Jeffrey Bezos, Elon Musk.
Do I have to fuck any of them?
Yes. You can get fucked by them if you want. I mean, Jesus Christ.
So right now, I can't believe this is hard for you.
That is exactly my reaction.
Fuck, marry, John Stamos. Fuck, marry, kill. And my choices are Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and
Jeffrey Bezos.
I would marry Elon Musk.
Right.
Because I think he's richer than Jeff Bezos.
You know what? You don't have a
I'd marry him, then I'd divorce him.
Wow, player. Okay.
No. Marry Elon Musk. I would fuck Rogan for the knowledge.
Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, but that's fine.
Oh, well, okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
You don't think that donk is... He's got a donk.
But he's also, I think he's like the most fit out of all of them, so I don't know.
Right.
It's making me sound really weird.
And you know what I've done so far, by the way? I've squeezed in this segment, even though we weren't supposed to do it.
And Bezos, I would kill because I have more faith in Elon Musk.
Bezos is a good guy.
He is a good guy. He's a good guy.
You guys not like...
Yeah, but I just personally think Bezos should leave getting to space to Elon Musk rather than Amazon.
That's what I'm saying.
What's that one joke by Joe Rogan? He's like, you ever notice the people that build the fucking rocket ships don't ever get in the fucking rocket ships?
They're smarter than that.
He's like, fuck that!
The way Elon Musk describes a rocket ship, it's gonna go up. It's got a couple different rocket fuel jets. It's got a fancy rocket fuel. You're like, and you're gonna go in it, right? Oh, no. That's not for me. Okay, and we're back. We're back with Robby from Dark Divine, guitarist from Dark Divine, Spooky Skeleton from Dark Divine, and I wanted to bring up, like I said before, there's a long history with me and Robby. We go way back. But really, I wanted to talk about a few things, and I have it all here on paper, so we don't forget. But knowing you for so long, first of all, this man, if you don't know, this is what's so great about doing this interview with somebody like me, who knows this man. And this man has been through, I don't know the exact number, man, but you've been through, do you know the exact number of bands you've been through? Literally starting from middle school. Even you don't count, I know you probably don't count those as like bands, but starting from middle school on.
Ooh, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was 5 bands before this one.
Oof. So yeah, it's
5 bands.
It's
total.
It's a lot. And around middle school is when me and Robby met, and best guitarist I knew at the time, obviously, and got me into playing guitar and everything. And at one point, I was lucky enough to be in a band with him. I don't remember which band that was or what it was called.
I don't think it really was a band. I think we were just jamming with the intention of creating the band, and then it just never really picked up.
It's because I sucked, everybody. And I'll tell a story about that. Because he's going to be nice and be like, no, it wasn't that at all. I'm like, no, it 100% was. And once I tried to be the lead singer of the middle school band, Her Addiction, which was the first band that Robby was ever put together at middle school with us. I think that was the first ever one, right?
Yeah.
And that was fun. I mean, I tell people about it. I'm like, it's a small thing, but I tell it like it's a local town thing for me. I go, you guys don't understand. Like, that middle school was bleh, and then you guys did Her Addiction, and
that was cool.
It was rad. Like, they let you guys play dances and shit like that. There was people like moshing and stuff like that. Our school was rad for a little bit because of you guys.
They gave us a backstage area in the janitor's closet.
We had to rush you guys. We had to rush you guys back. Yeah. Legit. At 7th grade at this point, there was girls screaming for Robby and the rest of the band, and me and Mitchell.
I remember you would always come backstage in the janitor's closet too. I remember that day we played the science fair or whatever. Every period came in. There were 7 different periods of the classes. And every period they would come in and they were like, Joe, you need to go to class. You're like, I'm not fucking going to class. I'm staying right back.
I'm with the band. I'm literally with the band. Me and Mitchell used that up heavy. We were like, we're part of the band. No, we're roadies, okay?
I remember that shit specifically.
No, I don't touch any of the equipment, though.
I remember you and I would literally be hiding behind the door waiting for Mr. Beach to introduce us, and we'd be looking through the cracks of the door like, all right, you ready to go out? And then we'd run out real quick. Grand entrance.
Dude, and I mean, so that was pretty. But yeah, I mean that was the start of really when I see your story, I'm like, that's the start right there.
Yeah.
Because your start was bigger than somebody else's start. There's people who start with garage bands where they play for at birthday parties for their friends. You literally started with some friends. I believe Zach. I think the starting was Zach, you, and Bobby. I think that was it.
Yeah.
And shouts out if you guys are listening. We know that you're not. And and you guys went up there and crushed it with basically just instrumental covers and you singing a few songs.
Yeah.
And it was dope, and you were wearing a white T-shirt that some girlfriend of yours at the time had.
No, it was a fan.
Oh, a fan?
Yeah.
Well, it was a girl.
Girl fan.
Girl fan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shirt.
Yeah, it was a dope Her Addiction shirt. That was a dope name. And also, the song "If I Die" got played on the radio. Remember?
Oh my God!
It
Yeah,
and here's Robby Lynch from Her Addiction with "If I Die."
Hopefully, nobody can access that song on the internet anymore.
I hope it touches a lot of people who can reach that. Oh man, I mean that was incredible. She can dig pretty deep.
That was a very depressing song.
It was, and it got played on 97X.
Yeah.
It was, but it was, it was still a good song. It was a pretty good song. I mean, I was proud of it for you. You were proud of it. I think, it was. You look back at things like that and it's like cringe, but realistically, I'm somebody who can look at it and go, it was pretty big for the age, the grade, the time going on.
Yeah.
Do you remember what came after Her Addiction?
After Her Addiction came... What did come after Her Addiction? Crow.
That's right, Crow.
Crow came after
I think
Her
I was
Addiction.
trying to be a part of Crow at something. I think that's... But it was still, no, it was before Crow. That's when we were trying... It was in between.
Yeah, it was before it became Crow, and that was with Chandler.
And I know the guy's name who was playing guitar with you guys, but I forget though.
It was Chandler, Connor, and we had our buddy Ian at the time.
Yeah. That was good. I saw you guys play with Framing Hanley, correct? When you were with
yeah, we played with Framing Hanley. That was kind of my entryway into the St. Pete scene was with Crow. I kind of look back at those bands now.
Yeah, you owe me $50 from that. No. I'm just playing. It's true, but I'm just playing.
Was that band based on the movie?
No.
It actually it was an acronym, right?
Can't Resolve Our World.
Can't Resolve Our World, which was pretty dope.
That's way cooler. Well,
That was pretty cool.
I do look back though, like at those, and sorry for if there's any fans of Cold Clock Knockout or any of the other bands.
You were in that one for a long while, weren't you?
That was my baby.
Yeah.
That was something that I had started with a couple buddies locally, and it was popping off really, really well. I look back at it now, though, especially with today's industry, and I kind of realized that vocals aren't really my thing. Like my strong suit is with the guitar, and I had always wanted to just kind of focus on guitar. You want me to scream into a mic and do some backup stuff? No problem.
You really did. It makes me think back of like when fucking Mitchell, and if you're listening, what's up, man? Buddy! When he would make fun of you for like the little like whelps you would do like when you were on stage when you first started. Yeah. But first of all, AJR does the exact same whelp you do, by the way, at this point, and so they need to pay you money. Second of all, it developed you. Like it's a thing that made you get to, because it's not that I thought you were a fine singer, but was there better, or could there be better? For sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But your screams, like the way you were able to develop them afterwards, like it's very unique. You have a unique way of doing it. Kind of like Breaking Benjamin. You know what I mean? Like you hear that guy and you go, "There's way better than," but you hear it and you go, it's all about the uniqueness that comes to the ear. You know what I mean?
That was the good thing that came out of me trying to sing, was through all of the awful singing and pitchiness is I discovered how to scream better than sing.
Right.
And that came in handy for me, especially with this band, a lot more than what I ever thought it would when I was trying to be a vocalist. And even in those bands, I never, specifically Cold Clock Knockout, I didn't want to be the vocalist. That was more of the band decision where they're like, we like what you're doing, just do that.
Yeah. That probably felt good.
It did, and that's why when I dipped my toes in working with Dark Summer, they had another vocalist. It was just me playing the guitar and writing the songs. And then moving on to Dark Divine, I had realized that it was probably one of the best things I could have done was get out of my own head and think that I need to be the singer, or that that I need to be in control of things, and kind of let others take control and kind of learn from them and work with them. That was one of the greatest experiences that came from that. So
You learn how to like fit into a role.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Instead of trying to force yourself into
feeling
something.
like you have to do everything, and that was a big change of pace with this band, Dark Divine. Is we all have our own roles, and we all have our own part and play our own part. In a lot of other bands that I've been in, it always felt like just me. So it's been great to experience that with Dark Divine.
Hell yeah. Last few things about the backstory here. Tell the story when me and Robby were trying to be in a band together. You know, just best friends. He just wanted to be in a band with me. I was decent at guitar at the time, and he was like, "Dude, all you gotta do is play rhythm, man. That's all you gotta do, bro. I'll make it easy for you, and we'll just." And I, deep down, and I never said it to you in person, I knew your dream was so much bigger than my talent. You know what I mean? I knew deep down, I was like, my talent could never succeed what your dream was, and I knew the more you progressed. I could progress too, of course, or anybody could, but I could tell I was like, no, I can't hold this guy back. And that was great that it went that way. So one day everybody came over to my house for band practice in my garage. And it went fine, if you kind of remember, but something happened that day where we were all hanging out and we're playing, and I just hadn't practiced anything that they asked me to practice. Dude, I just got high and played video games the whole time. And I learned the song once or twice, so I was like, that'll work totally fine. And I started just playing the same chords, the same, whatever the progression was, like the same thing over and over again at some point of us practicing. Mm-hmm. And you and Chandler just looked at each other and were like, and just kept playing. and I was like,
busted.
Oh yeah, I was like, I forgot everything. And I think we tried to play like one or two more songs, and then we just called it a day and like hung out for a little bit. We played some basketball out front and called it a day. And after that was the last time we all played together. I think we had one more practice at whoever the drummer was house.
Bobby's house.
It wasn't Bobby. Like it was somebody else.
Oh, it was probably Ian.
I guess so. Oh yeah, because he was still there. That's right. So,
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we went, and then that was the last time I ever played with you guys. And I think that day we played one song, and that was it. And then
we never like I very vaguely remember we were never like, hey, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. We just kind of never did it again.
I don't remember if it was me who said I don't want to do it anymore, or if it was you guys, because I think we got into some shit with Taylor, and I think like we got into this big fight. I think it was. I think she was pissed at you, and then I was taking her side. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I think she Coco Yono'd whatever. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs Yono'd that shit.
Yeah.
After I was done after I left, and then you were still doing things. I think at this point with was it Cold Clock. I always want to say cold cut. I swear to God.
Cold cut combo.
It's the sandwich guy in me. I'm like, cold cut combo. Huh? That's pretty cool. Cold cut knockout. That's pretty crazy.
Damn, I'm stopping by Subway after this. Give me a cold cut combo.
Oh yeah. So during that time, I don't know. Do you still work at your job? Like,
yeah.
Really?
Yep. I still work
full time.
Full time. Still work at daycare.
So then I don't know. You went through 5 bands. And you got like far every single time. You know, every single time you were in a new band, you progressed further with each one. Mm-hmm. You hit a new milestone. But you're working heavily. Like for me, like I work outside. It's hard. Like we do this shit once a week, and I write stuff down for us. And we have to edit throughout the week, and it's hard. It's fucking tiring for us as it is. Mm-hmm. And I do think about you in that moment. And we just did an episode called Motivational recently. Mm-hmm. And it's basically where we talk about people like Gary Vee and Jocko, those inspirational guys who look at you in the camera and go, if you're not fucking winning, man, then you're a fucking loser. If you're not getting up every single day and strapping your boots on and just working until you're fucking dead, then what are you? I don't want to hear you complaining because guess what? You're young, dude. You have your whole life ahead of you. Oh my God. You know what? When I was 27, I had nothing. You know what? But now I'm going to own the Jets. Like those guys.
Own the Jets.
Those guys, we can't. We love you, Gary Vee, but we can't stand when you do that. And but it makes me think because I go there. That's not the. I don't subscribe to that. Mm-hmm. I subscribe to like I come home sometimes and I work a little bit and then I play fucking NHL 22 for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I get done with that and I play Fortnite with Reese, mm-hmm. and then that's it. And then you know what? If I didn't get enough done, I'll get it done the next day. Mm-hmm. But my dream is always going to be my dream, and I have time. If he says I have time, then I have time. My point is, though, is that from somebody who's been working from the age that you've been since so young, you've been working at it, mm-hmm. and you work a job still full time, so that's 40 hours a week, I assume,
if more, yeah.
if not more. does it, and I actually did write it down here. You said at one point you were about to quit again. So you wanted to quit before, and is it because of all this? Is it because it gets so hard, like chasing a dream, that it doesn't? Did you ever feel like it just wasn't gonna happen, and that's why you quit? Or
oh yeah, I mean, there was a few different reasons why I was kind of putting down the torch. But as far as that, yeah, I mean, I think every artist or musician at some point in life has felt that way, like maybe this isn't going to do what I dream of it to do, like my dreams aren't ever going to come true, that's for other people or something like that. You always get discouraged like that. I kind of had just hit a point where locally I felt like all the doors had shut, and I felt like if my time was going to come in music, it would have already came. And I told myself by age 30, if things didn't work out, then I was going to go ahead and stop spending half of my income on music and trying to make a dream come alive. And so I had stopped for a little bit, and I was like, well, you know what? At the time, I was 25. I'm not 30 yet. So let me stick to my goal. And if I hit 30 and it hasn't done anything, then I'll stop. And it couldn't have worked out better for me.
Yeah.
Because if I had gone through with that decision 2 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
I couldn't see you stopping, man. Like when we used to hang out when we were young, like we'd come back to your house if we were hanging out, or I'd come over at, I would literally, you'd already be home, and I would drive over to start staying the night at your house, and then you'd be like, "What's up, man?" And we'd walk back to your room, and then you would just start playing guitar. Yeah. And I'd be like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna watch you play guitar now." Yeah. And it was totally fine because you were fucking killer at it. That's what all of us as friends, we'd be like, "I'm just." Basically,
pretty much.
But so when I think of you, sometimes like when I think of you trying to be like, I'm done. I'm like, so you're telling me you're gonna go home today and not play your guitar? There's no way.
Yeah,
it's in you, man. So.
There had definitely been those droughts where I hadn't played guitar for weeks or months before I had picked up music again, and it just every time I picked the guitar back up, I had realized this is what I'm best at, what I'm meant to do, and what makes me happy.
So would you say then? Do you agree with that mentality of you have to be on it all day, every day, 24/7, pushing yourself, or would you say that it needs to be like a balance of like really trying to like take a chill, or do you think that's, like I'm saying, for success, do you think that's the only way to like really get to success, or do you think you can get to success with trying to balance a life of calm and also working extremely hard? I see it in you, like you're out getting tattoos, you're also out, it seems like they keep Halloween Horror Nights open for you 24/7. It feels like sometimes it's like it's March and he's like, I'm at Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm like,
bro, I wish.
What? So I'm like, you work hard, but you play hard too. So it's that's where I get confused, because you work 40 hours, you're in the band, you're doing a lot, you're pushing, you're promoting. It seems like you do heavy social media, but then at the same time you're like, what's up? I'm out I don't think you've ever done River Rapids, but you get it.
I have.
There you go. See, I was right. I guessed and I was right.
No, I mean, as far as like, if I didn't have a house, if I didn't have a car, if I didn't have all the bills, then that was when I hit 18. I moved right out of my house.
Right.
And
I remember that. Yeah.
When you're 18, you don't think about what that could create, and then I started accumulating all these bills and responsibilities, and so I'm like, fuck, all right, I have to keep working this job, but I'm also gonna keep doing music as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's in the mentality of, to answer your question, it just depends on how much you want it.
Okay.
Honestly, like you could sit down and practice all day and think that that's gonna give you the drive or the passion or the talent that you want. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to you actually really, really wanting it. Like there was times where I would sit down and I would just gruel myself at trying to learn a song, and come to realize I was just trying to learn a song rather than wanting to be able to do it. So there's a difference.
And I know you're giving a little bit of it right there, but I want to, if you can, a little bit more in depth, because with that right there, like that's just like a lot of people don't understand that's what it is. That's why I like your story so much, because I relate to you in a sense of, you did come from good wealth, but you never can tell it with you. You always worked for everything. You always worked hard. What is your advice to somebody, if you like me, or like the next person out there who's just, they want to be a creative, they're working their ass off every day, all day, and they don't feel like their creative dreams are going to take them anywhere. If they want to stop, what would you say to that person?
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
If it's something that you genuinely want to do, and it's something that you genuinely enjoy doing, then keep doing it. I mean, and the rest will come. Honestly, it will. I mean, whether it's a fan base you're looking for, or support you're looking for, or just what's the word? Accreditation in general,
Right.
or acceptance in general, like that will all come down the road, as long as you're staying true to yourself and you're doing what you want to do and doing what you're happy doing. That's all that matters.
Exactly. I feel that. Yeah, and I feel that with this. We feel that with you guys. It's like, every other day we've talked about on the podcast before. Like I feel like I'm like, this is, I look at the views sometimes. I'm like, nobody wants to see this shit. But other days, I get reviews from friends that are like, hey man, that was actually, I watched your episode the other day. That was actually pretty cool. And that's why you do. You just keep doing it, and people who aren't gonna like it. And that's how everybody got there. When you actually come down to I don't like stories of like people who are like, that's why I don't like that. I worked until my arm fell off, and I'm like, there was some luck involved. Like at some point, like you worked and somebody noticed you, and whether you were trying hard, there's people who don't work as hard and they get noticed without even trying,
Yeah.
So it's a little frustrating when you're working so hard, but I agree with you to just keep doing it, because if it makes you happy, then just keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, and the way I look at it, and this is just from my personal view, is like you look at the internet and the world and all the apps that are available to people, like YouTube or Twitch or TikTok. Out of all, the biggest thing right now is TikTok. Like, you have so many sources for content creation nowadays. Anybody can create content, and there's a lot of bullshit out there.
Yeah.
So why not do what you believe in and love? And I feel that at some point that will overlap the bullshit that's out there.
100%. People like genuine shit. People like something that's personable to them, to you,
100%.
And they can read that in music and videos and podcasts, and they can read it when they can feel it like, oh, like it's a moment. It takes a moment for people, but they'll go, oh, he is doing it for us, but he's more doing it for him. And I respect that more, because anybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Which we can keep telling afterwards. You don't have to, especially after we're done, you don't have to feel free. You don't have to feel like you need to fucking leave or anything like that, but,
you don't have to,
for recording senses, getting to a certain point.
you don't have to feel free. You're not.
You are trapped here.
You're stuck
Much
here
like Reese.
forever.
She is in a cage. That's why I haven't taken you to the room. I'm like, he can't see the cage.
All I do is record and edit.
and then sometimes she wants to watch shows, and I let her out for the shows, but then she puts on dumb shit, and then I go, get back in the cage. And then we're watching Dragon Ball Super. No. Just, come on.
You're going to go to play Fortnite later on tonight, and somebody's just going to come by and absolutely murk you, and it's going to be me coming over your headset. That was me, motherfucker. Yeah, I know.
I was like, don't. Seriously?
Could you imagine, though? Just
I'm like, you played Madden, and that's it.
Dude, Madden and Call of Duty. That's about it.
Yeah, you still playing Madden and everything?
Yeah,
Of course.
still.
I just said to Black Guy one day, I said recently, I go, because we play NHL together all the time. And we were talking about how like we wish we had more people to play with. And I said, I wish I could get my buddy Robby to play, but he's not much of a hockey guy. Also, he's busy. And then I said, but I tell you what, he's so busy. But I guarantee you, if I went over to his house today and tried to play him in Madden, he would skewer me. It's so frustrating.
I haven't played in like years.
It's so, and he's being secretive, exclusive. He's being secretive. Every time I play, he goes, I'm not doing anything, man. I'm just playing the game. And I go, shut the fuck up. You're doing settings. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just playing. I'm just good at the game. I go, no, you're...
The secret was always just changing the play on you at the last moment.
Yeah, makes sense. You fuck. Now it all puts together. Sound cube. You sound cube.
Yeah.
We are back. We're here again with Robby from Dark Divine. We are having so much fun. I have to go do stuff later, and I don't want to. I just want to hang out here with Robby and talk with him. That's how cool he is. When you go see him on tour, guys, try to reach for him to hang out. Don't hurt him, but reach for him to hang out, because he's a cool guy. He's awesome. And I wanted to ask you a question. Okay, so there's a lot of music in this world, and new music is really taking over. I mean, at this point, that's all people talk about is new music. Mm-hmm. New bands. Mm-hmm. Newer, even if they've only been around for like 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. There is a pandemic of a lot of old bands that are still around Whether they're touring with their old shit or they're
Yeah.
touring with new shit.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, in your own personal opinion here, and you don't have to worry about hurting their feelings. They don't care about what we think. Maybe they do. Out of bands of people like Aerosmith and AC/DC, the Chili Peppers, and like Metallica even, but Metallica gets a huge pass because I don't know, they have a special place in the heart. But even them, you can put them, people like them, but you could also think of your own. Who do you think that's an old band that's still playing today just needs to stop?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
She loves Motley Crue.
100%.
You are so right. She's like, you need to stop playing. She's like, you know what? I'm keeping everything in.
You may find it surprising. I am not a fan of Metallica whatsoever.
That is actually a little bit surprising.
I
yeah.
have a respect for what they've done, so I can't say that I would say they need to throw in the towel and stop touring.
Yeah.
Am I a fan? Not really.
Yeah.
Musically, no. I respect it, but as far as Motley Crue goes, I mean, have you seen the videos of Vince Neil?
I almost don't want to. I hear like radio hosts, show hosts talk about it, and it sounds awful.
There comes a point where if you just can't own up to what it was anymore, then don't let it be remembered for what it never was.
Right.
I mean, let it be remembered for the greatness that it was.
I can't even imagine, like, because like that's the thing. It's disappointing to like young fans who want to go see it, and then they see after like, oh, this is not what like I've heard. This is not what I've seen in old videos. And then even like the older crowd who have seen them before, aren't you disappointed? Aren't you embarrassed?
Yeah.
Like,
unless it's more of just a nostalgia thing, you know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
I guess. But even then, when that crush your nostalgia to see him all bloated on stage, fucking
Yeah,
running
like-
around.
Like me as a fan, like one of my favorite bands in the entire world is Northlane, and so if I were to go see them 40 years from now, and they sounded awful, I would have much rather remember them when I saw them when they were at their greatest than I don't know, kind of watch them deteriorate.
Here's a Oh, go ahead, please.
When the Who played at the Super Bowl not too long ago, a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I was watching it with my aunt because we love the Who,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "This is garbage.
It's just
They
not
didn't
them."
Smash anything. They didn't, dive into the audience." And I'm like, "Both of you, the Who and you, are like almost 80 years old. So
Yeah.
how about?"
Yeah.
It makes me think of a controversial thing that I think of, which is I don't even want to think of this, but Slipknot. I mean, how much longer do they have till they have to stop? Like, we saw them during the All Hope Is Gone tour, and I mean that was great. No, they crushed it. I mean, Sid had broken legs. He was still trying to do everything he could. Paul was still alive. Joey was still alive. So it was a great show. But at this point, Joey's dead. Paul's dead. They lost Chris Big Nose. He's not even in the band anymore. He left.
Yeah.
And they're still touring, I still love the music. I love the new album that came out. I think it's pretty good. I don't really listen to it though.
Yeah.
There's somebody where I go, I think they probably need to stop.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you. I think it's more so in their case and a lot of bands' cases, like Motley Crue probably, is that they adapted to these much larger lifestyles financially.
Yeah.
And now that they're within those roles, they have to keep doing what they're doing so they can continue to own up their end of their responsibilities and finances.
Right. Yeah.
So like Slipknot is a totally different case or band in the sense of most bands you're paying 4 or 5 people to go on tour, and that's how they're making most of their money throughout the years touring.
Yeah.
Slipknot, you got what, fucking 8 or 9, 10 members? You're paying 2 bands at that point.
Seriously, yeah.
So they have to probably just keep touring and touring and touring and touring to make sure. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it is like Wu-Tang. I could see you, and I mean this in a good way. And I'll explain it. I could see you being that guy in a band who is, at an old age still playing, but in the sense because you love it. There's bands that are old. That's why we didn't say there's a lot of old bands that are still out there, but they have a classy way of being out there now.
Yeah.
Motley Crue. I'm just kidding.
Get out. You know, they have a classy way of being old and still performing, and you know, and those numbers are few, but I think that's okay for some people who just love to play music and like, hey, I'm just playing shows. I'm just, you know, I love to entertain people. Mm-hmm. You know, you think about like Elvis, who's somebody who like, you know, he died because he loved to perform and he couldn't stop performing. Mm-hmm. You strike me as somebody who's like that in a much more humble way. Like, you'd be like, I'm not gonna die. You're like, but I love to perform, and it seems like, you know, that you get a real big kick out of it performing for people. Like, when we were friends in middle school, I think the moment I saw you play with Her Addiction, after that, you became a whole different person in a good way. Mm-hmm. You were still you, but you were more confident. You seemed happier. Yeah. You know, things still happen for you in life, but, you know, you seem to have that, and it seems to make you happy playing for everybody.
Yeah, it does. Definitely. It makes me happy to... I always keep in my mind I'm playing for me, and then playing for everybody else. You know,
and that's got to make you feel great because you're like, this is for me, but
yeah, exactly. Like it's as selfish as it sounds. You always have to kind of put you first and do things for you, and depend on your happiness first before you start trying to project that onto other people.
Yeah,
and I don't know necessarily if I hit 80 years old, I'll be wearing skeleton paint and playing.
That'd be badass. They're pretty badass. Unless you're all boned by that point because you're 80. And like, whoa, he's really dedicating.
Even though I will say I turn 28 in October, so I'm in the year of the death right now. 27 is the year, I think, for people that play music.
Is it really?
Yes. So
put everybody put Robby on watch right now. Everybody put him on watch right. Wait, 27 is the year? How about for musicians, though?
Yeah, musicians.
Next year, I'm picking up guitar, baby. So I have a piano and an acoustic guitar in my room right now. I don't even touch it. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no, my dad came home with a white lighter a couple weeks ago. I was like, get that shit out of here.
Not taking any risks.
You gotta say that.
I got a whole lot more life to live, man.
So that kind of brings us into our next segment, because there's a lot of bands who need to stop. There's a lot of bands who don't need to stop. Journey, you need to stop. You need to stop believing. I'll tell you that much. There is one guy who definitely needs to stop, though. His name's Marilyn Manson.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Hearing that name, you might think a couple different things, but one thing you should know is that he's in deep trouble for things that, honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm on his side about. I think she knew what she signed up for. I think she knew he was a blood-sucking demonic dude who was gonna put her in a coffin. I'm not afraid here. You think I'm going on SNL or something? He was. I want you to slit my wrist while I slit your wrist. I still have a chance, dude. I mean, come on.
Can we blur my face out here?
You know what? I'm done. That case is wild, but that's what he's in the news for right now. But if you haven't known, there has been multiple videos of him performing live at this, because he still does live shows.
Yeah,
and it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Have you seen the one where actually it looks like you got it pulled up?
I was going to say, it's funny that you bring up videos about him. Because,
where the statue falls?
Yes. Uh-huh. So we're going to go ahead and watch a few videos. And this segment is a new recurring segment on SuperSour that we'll be bringing back. But a special segment because Robby's here. And this segment is called Rockstar Retirements. Or the Rockstar Retirement Home of SuperSour. And the first person being put in all by his lonesome self and his beautiful makeup is Marilyn Manson. And our first video we have is, in fact, a video of Marilyn Manson trying to get on top of a prop, which does look heavy as shit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And boy, does it not go well. And here's how it goes. Which song is this that he's playing? Ooh. Oh.
Sounds like Sweet Dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad those guns weren't loaded.
I mean, he landed in the cage part landed on him. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. It's hard to gauge.
That also probably should have been more secured to the ground.
100% it should have. Also, those guys lifted it up like it was nothing.
Yeah.
There was two of them who were like one-armed, and they were like, "Is he all right?"
True.
So I mean, and there's a phenomenon of what the bonfire would call Fat Manson, and because he's just so out of shape now, and he really shouldn't be on stage. He can't move the way he can, and also. You said something earlier about a prop or Marilyn Manson with a prop, and it made me think of. You remember he used to like take the Bible and he would rip pages out. He'd spit on it, piss on it, shit on it in middle of stage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bit extreme, but that's what you were like. This is fucking rock and roll right here. This is badass. Yeah. Have you seen what he does with the Bible now?
No.
He's got a prop Bible now. That just does like a animated fire, but it doesn't actually catch fire. And then he just hands it back to somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
kind of like the opening the wallet trick, and there's a little.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Why not just get a Bible and just fuck it up? I feel like that'd be cheaper.
Just set it on fire.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's asking for much. Just rip pages out and people go nuts. They go, hell yeah. But he's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and do this awesome fire trick. I've been hanging out with Chris Angel a lot.
Hey, man, he's been hanging out with Norman Reedus a lot, too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I was like, exclusive.
They actually, Norman Reedus from Walking Dead did like the Ride with Norman show or whatnot, where he rides around freaking mountains or some shit on a motorcycle, and Marilyn Manson was on a lot of those episodes.
There's a lot of people who support Marilyn Manson.
And all of a sudden, once all this came out, he was like, sorry.
I didn't realize that was Marilyn Manson. Oh, sorry. What did you say? You said his name was. Oh, I thought that was Billy because his name's like Billy or something like that.
Was this stuff true about Kanye and Marilyn Manson, like creating like going to a religious group together? True.
So there was some truth to it. I heard about that. I think, they're just two guys who talk a lot of shit. And I love Kanye. I think he's a creative mind he's a creative mind force that can't be stopped. I think
he does have his own religion.
Does he?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Is it called Yeezus?
Honestly, I'm almost 90% sure that it is. Or something very similar.
Respect. That's badass. Kind of want to follow it.
Yeah, he said that it's exclusive and he'll only...
Exclusive!
Yeah, he'll only allow specific members. It's not like a paid thing, though. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think you have to pay a little bit, but it's not like Kanye prices. It's more of, if he wants you in, he'll put you in.
He's just trying to avoid paying taxes.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, man. I mean, that got whispered in his ear. And Manson was like, that sounds great.
I'm going to have to pay for all these.
This is going to help pay for my torture chambers. If I don't have to pay taxes, I can get more whips and lashes. Do you think I can get pints of blood with the money that I'm going to save?
When he gets out of his jail cell, can I buy this and take this home with me?
Oh, that's a good idea. The people that are going to be like, well, I know he's asked that before. I don't know. Let me get the manager. This is a video. I don't know if you've seen it. This one blows my mind. I think this is going to piss you off from a performance standpoint too. He's clearly fucked up, and he goes out to. You ever seen like when we went and saw 3 Days Grace? There's like an arena show, and the sound booth area is right there in the smack dab middle.
Yeah.
So he goes out to it, and he starts. He's so obviously fucked up that a guy is following behind him for just doing small movements. So let's check this out. Singing Beautiful People. Also hard to hear, but he sounds awful while he's singing.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that guy's following him. He's thinking he's going to trip.
I'm not going to mess with the soundboard, is
He
he?
messes with his and the guy rushes so quick. He's like, fucking A. Cuts the sound. He trips over something and cuts everything. That guy's hero plugs it back in. The sound guy is stopping him. He's like, please stop doing that.
Oh my god.
Knocks over a monitor. No reason.
Yeah. No, if I was in his band, I would have walked off.
Oh man, could you imagine being on stage and being like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man?
I would have walked off for sure.
Dude, Manson is out of control. This one is kind of sad. This one's a little sad. I'm not gonna lie to you, Robby. It's just a little sad, but it's really funny. So, as it says here, my man's having some pant issues, and I can only equate this to either being a snob or being on drugs, or both. Porque no los dos. So
Probably both.
let's check. Both. So let's check out him losing his fucking pants. I ripped my pants. Pants are down. Out of nowhere. What are you going to do, Mitch? Are you going to pick him up yourself? No, he can't. Oh, boy.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Nope. How he's lazily, he's like, what do you say? Sorry, that was a funny laugh to get out of Robby. He was just like, Robby saw that. He's like, dude, I can do better than that.
How much are they paying him?
Yeah, seriously. And yeah, so we don't have to see any more. Then that's basically, I mean, and I gotta say, that happens twice in that video where he loses his pants, and twice the guy has to come out and pick his pants up for him because Marilyn just.
He must be paying him a good amount of money, man.
That roadie got paid hard. You got to get one of those guys. You can get one of those guys. I mean, you could just ride your pants loose, and I mean, if it falls, you just get the guy.
Playing at a huge festival and all the security back. Who is this guy? Oh, that's Pants Guy.
That's Pants Guy. That's Pants Guy. Can I get another beer on set, please? So I think out of all of them, even Aerosmith with Steven Tyler looking like a weird grandma aunt skeleton rocking around, he still sounds good.
Yeah.
He still hits those notes.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson? You know what it makes me think of is, remember, we went to Mayhem Fest, the first ever Mayhem Fest. God, yes. Awesome concert. I still have those pictures. I still have the pictures of us. Yes, please.
I still have those memories.
Damn right. Good show. We were, as I tell Reese, the show was so good that we were moshing up in the third, like, mini moshing, but people couldn't help but to mosh up in the third section of that concert.
Yeah. Jumping off seats.
100%.
And
it was a Slipknot. They were main evented, and then Mastodon, Dragon Force, Atreyu.
Yeah.
Man, Atreyu.
Yeah. But I remember specifically at that one when we had gotten there originally to the show. It was in the middle of fucking July in the Florida heat, and I thought it would be smart rather than drinking. Mind you, we were 14.
We drank Monster.
We kept drinking Monster and Coke.
Yep.
Shouts out Monster.
And exclusive Monster.
Remember we went to the side, like there was a small shaded area at the it was at the time it was the Ford Amphitheater.
Yeah.
And they were just spraying people with water, like
Well, they started spraying people with water because I don't know if you remember, I puked all over that girl's foot.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was really embarrassing.
Yeah.
That sucked.
You were one of the people they sprayed with water. I remember you came back so wet.
I also remember that day old lady stuck her finger in my ice cream cone, and I was really upset about it.
Dude, it was a wild time, that festival. People were worthless there.
I just came back with this fucking like $10 ice cream cone. 14-year-old me is like, I'm about to devour this shit. And this lady gets up to like get out of the row, so you don't have to like stand up and move back in your seat. And she's going by, and she stops right in front of me, and she just looks me dead in the eye, and she takes her finger, puts it in her mouth, takes it out, and then shoves it into the ice cream cone.
No.
Then took it out and put it back in her mouth, and I was like, well, I'm done with that. And
You'd be a psycho if you committed, yeah.
I love ice cream cones.
I was so
that
pissed.
Story alone, I'm going to think about that for like a week.
I was mad. I remember I looked over, I think it was you or Taylor at the time.
A big Taylor, right?
I remember I looked at Taylor, and I was like, dude, that fucking lady just put her finger in my ice cream cone. And all of a sudden, her daughter come running up behind me. Don't you be talking shit about my mom. And I'm like, she put her fucking hand in my fucking
Why
ice
would
cream.
I not? Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, shit. I was just talking about what happened.
I was talking shit. I was being truthful.
That makes me happy that we didn't fucking... Because the next year, I mean, we still had a great time. I mean, we saw Slipknot put on, like I said earlier, they put on the greatest show. And everybody did. And seeing Atreyu at the time, that was when they had the Falling Down song, and that was huge. They were going with that shtick of doing the greaser thing. And, I showed her that music video. She had never seen that music video because she loves The Outsiders as well. Who doesn't love The Outsiders? Yeah. Oh, that's great. I can watch any. She does not watch music videos. Period.
I love.
So you could show her any music video, like from like you could show her like my sacrifice from fucking who was that, Creed?
Oh yeah.
She'd be like, I've never seen that. Never seen it before.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But the next year of Mayhem Fest was Slipknot headlining again, but Marilyn Manson co-headlining for Slipknot. And I remember a few of you guys were pretty hyped. You were like, I still want to go. I don't think any of us went, but I was like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Not going to go. Actually, I think Slipknot was, if I'm not mistaken, Slipknot was co-headlining that year, and Marilyn Manson was going to headline.
Yeah, none of us went to that.
And I was like, I'm not going to go. And my father was like, you're not going to go. No, I wasn't allowed to go. And,
which was crazy because your parents were really, really open to you doing basically whatever the fuck you wanted to do. But when it came to Marilyn Manson, nah.
Yeah, they were like, that's not going to happen. And I was like, fair enough. And I kind of wish we would have seen it because it would have been him at his like peak, like really badass. But imagine that. I mean, I hear the crowd at his like when he was younger, the crowd at his like concerts were monsters. Yeah. Like you'd have a better luck at an ICP festival. You know what I'm saying? Like
I used to go to like weird punk shows, you know, like and where they have like really weird ones sometimes, and like still felt way safer there.
Well, the rumor was with Marilyn Manson is that his fans would, and this is very foul, but his fans would literally like piss and shit in Ziploc bags.
I heard about that.
At each other. I would fucking kill somebody if that happened. Like,
damn. Imagine that small ass the Ford amp with him in there. I'm sure. I've never heard any stories from it, but I'm sure some shit went down that day. I'm sure.
Nope.
I remember. I think our original plan we were gonna go see Slipknot and then like leave.
Yeah. No, I think we actually did try really hard to make it happen, and both of our parents were just like, "You're not going."
Happen.
Like,
yeah. And you know what's funny is like nowadays, Manson, if he's still on tour, parents would be like, I mean, if you want to, it's up to you, really. Yeah. I mean, what's he gonna do? Show you a fake Bible? Burn his fake Bible?
Fake fire?
Is he going to be drunk or is he going to be on pills for this one? Well, that one wasn't funny at all, but it's true. Oh man, I think we're towards the end here. So, and it makes me sad that we're at the end here. And Robby, we'd love to have you on again, man. Seriously, anytime you can come on. We know you got a tour. Maybe after you come back from the tour, you can talk about the tour. Please, if you want to, again, just one more time, promote anything you can think of. The dates, just if you got any special dates that you want to talk about on the tour, anything you got going on. One more time, if you can, for us.
Yep, check us out, Dark Divine Official on TikTok, on Instagram, Dark Divine Official on Facebook, all the social media. You can find our personal merch at invoguerecords.com. You can also find it at dark-divine.com. We will be on tour starting in Orlando on August 19th, working our way up the East Coast of the United States from August 19th to the 28th or 29th. So keep a lookout.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, man! I'm excited. I hope we're able to make that Orlando show.
Absolutely.
A lot of our fan base is Florida based. I think it's going to expand after this. But yeah, if you're a friend of the podcast and you're down here and you got a nice little weekend, is it? I know the date, but is that what day? Do you know what day that is?
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. That's perfect. Head on down to Orlando and go see him, guys. Go check out and get some tickets. And of course, as always, follow us here on the YouTube channel. Follow us on social media, SuperSour, JIR, everywhere. Follow us, twitch.tv/SuperSour Games. Follow us on patreon.com/SuperSour. Please support us if you like any of the merch here, the tie-dye. Please go ahead, email us, DM us. We got you on custom colors. Wherever you want the logo, we got you. We have new merch styles coming up, a lot of new merch that in the works. And throw a tie-dye throw a tie-dye on that subscribe button. Throw a tie-dye on that like button. Tie-dye up that follow button. Tie-dye up everything. Throw some tie-dye on everything for us, buds. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Probably, bud. I know you got a water there, but you want to cheers me real quick?